Hi everyone, this is Hippy Dippy. Now this is gonna be my what I remember when I was a kid, teenager, and when I'm a young adult. Back when I was a kid, there was I was supposed to be. My dad wanted me to become a hockey player. I wanted to be a hockey player too. That's why I like hockey so much. I was named after Cam Neely, although my dad spelled my name wrong on the birth certificate because he's a dumbass. So yeah, that was the thing. I was supposed to be named after Cam Neely, but my dad spelled it wrong because he's a dumbass. But yeah, it happens. Um, so that's the main gist of that. Now, when it comes to me being a kid, I did not have that many memories. I used to get bullied a lot in school. A lot people used to make fun of me, but I always thought that overcoming those bullying stuff would make me a stronger person, and I am a stronger person. What the fuck was that noise? Whatever. Sorry, there's noises that are up here. I feel like this attic's haunted. But anyway, as I was saying, um, I always got bullied and picked on when I was in elementary school and middle school and somewhat in high school, so to speak. I just never talked about it in high school because I was a quiet kid back in high school because I didn't really want to talk to anyone because that's why I played video games all day because I didn't want to hang out with anyone because everyone made fun of me, I believe. I always had that mindset like everyone's making fun of me. Why, you may ask why they're making fun of me? Well, because when I was 4 years old, I hit my head on the heater. So, and it was a sharp object of the heater. This was back in '97. I was 4 years old. I hit my head on the heater. I stayed at my house for like probably like 6 hours, I believe. I'm not too sure about that. But when my mom was working at the time, I had to wait until she got home because my dad was too fucking lazy because he's a dick. Took me to the hospital. And I always told him that I was bleeding, but it was like a small speck of blood. Problem is, he didn't realize that I was bleeding inside my head because he's a dumbass. So I knew what was happening to him, what was going on with me. My mom came home. She decided to call the hospital. She was put on hold, and then she said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go to the fucking emergency room," which we did. Now, when we got to the emergency room, the nurse thought I was on drugs. Fucking moron. So when they did a CAT scan, so when the doctor took me in, my mom said that they brought in a priest, which is like, what the fuck is going on here? I didn't know about this because I passed out on the floor of the freaking hospital. I'm surprised I actually walked in on my own power to get to the hospital. So that's the main gist of that. But anyway, they did a CAT scan on me, whatever the hell they call it, and they said I was bleeding inside my head, so they had to do immediate head surgery. Now, what I've been told is the fact that they didn't clean their hands, wash their hands, or anything like that, because of the fact that of how long I was bleeding inside my head with no help whatsoever to relieve the blood or the pressure that's building up in my head because of the fact that it was been like 6 hours. So they had to cover my head as soon as possible. It was so bad that it was so late when they did it. They didn't even knock me out. I had to knock myself out. My mom heard me screaming like 3 or 4 times. That's what she tells me. That when I was screaming because it didn't knock me out, because I saw them cut open my head. That's what she told. That's what the doctors told her, I believe. Then I knocked myself out. I died on the operating table at least like once, maybe twice. I don't know. But after I woke up, the thing about the thing about why am I doing this with my hands? I don't fucking know. Maybe it's because I need to think. So after I woke up, the doctor said I need to be put. They said I wasn't gonna be able to walk anymore. Screw that, you fucking morons. My mom taught me how to walk easily because she used tough love, which is hard to come by these days, but tough love means that you love the person, that you want them to succeed. That's why I got my mindset of trying to be better than everyone else because I hate losing. Well, first off, I hate losing because I'm a competitive fucking person. And the fact that I always like to prove people wrong because I hate when people can think that I'm nobody or something like that. So that's why I got that mentality in my head. In fact, do I have problems? Yes, everyone does. But I try to persevere through that stuff. Now, when Now, when it comes to my dad, I do not like my dad whatsoever. He is a major dick, and I don't like him. And the main reason being is the fact that I think two instances that I can remember him doing to me. Well, technically three. The first one was kind of minor, but my dad was abusive to me mentally and physically. He wanted me to become a hockey player, but after the accident, because of my hip, which explain that first. When I woke up and when I started walking again, I was walking with a limp. So they thought that my right leg was shorter than my left leg, but in all reality, my pelvis was tilted. So because of that reason, I walk with a limp, but they didn't realize it until I was a teenager. They actually did surgery on my freaking back in I think it was 7th grade. They cut the tendons of my knee and my ankle to see if it fixes it, but I never did anything because they're fucking dumbasses. Also, my teacher wanted me to wear a brace when I was in high school, and I said, "Fuck that! I don't give a shit." But anyway, so that's the main gist of that. So when it comes to, I'm trying to make up my thoughts here, so I'm doing this on the fly. So when it comes to my leg, that's why I walk with a limp, and that's why I always say that if you hit me with a car, it's 25 points. So I think that if you can't joke about yourself, you will not be happy ever. So I always try to make fun of myself. Like I always call myself a jackass, even though I don't really mean it. It's just a joke. I just like to make fun of myself because it's funnier that way. But anyway, so my dad was abusive. There are three instances that I remember. When it comes to me and lightning thunderstorms, I always was scared of thunderstorms when I was a kid. Not anymore though. Although when the lightning hits and the thunder is really loud, it freaks the crap out of me. But not anymore. I've gotten over that fear. But when I was a kid, my dad always said that. My dad always said that. The thunderstorm will hover above your bed and electrocute you until you die, and that's what made me fear lightning storms when I was a kid. The second thing is when I bruised my ribs back. I slipped on some, I slipped on ice and I hit ice on my ribs and it hurt like hell. So when I did that, I had hard to breathe, and that later that night, my dad tackled me, broke the fucking bathroom door because he was drunk at the time because he likes to drink, and he tackled me, and I had trouble breathing, going to sleep. And when I finally went to sleep, he came into my room and tackled me again, and it pissed me off. So yeah, that was a thing. Now, when it comes to the third thing was the worst. I remember I was pissed off at a video game back in the PlayStation 2. I think we had PlayStation 2 and Nintendo 64 and the Super Nintendo. But the Super Nintendo was already broken at that point. But the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 2. The thing about this was the fact that I had trouble talking. I was pissed off. Well, no, I wasn't having trouble talking. I was pissed off at a video game. My dad got pissed off, threw me in the snow when it was like single digits, I believe, with no shoes, no boots, and no jacket. All I had was sweatpants, a t-shirt, and socks on my feet. He threw me in the snow, and he told me to cool off. I think I was outside in single digit weather with no jacket, no shoes, for like 30 fucking minutes, I believe, or probably less than that. I don't know how long I was outside, but he told me to cool off, and that's kind of mean. That pissed. That's not how you treat your kids, and that's what happened to me when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, it was a little bit better, but my mom's boyfriend at the time, he was verbally abusive, just like my dad was, but at least he wasn't physical. Because unlike my dad, I lived with my mom when I was 15, I believe. I was 15 when I moved in with my mom. And when I moved in with my mom, she had a boyfriend. And her boyfriend was verbally abusive. Now, the good thing is about him, though, is the fact that he stopped drinking. Because he always used to drink a lot. But my main problem with him is the fact that every time I talk to him, the last times I talked to him, which was like when I was like 24, 23, 22, I believe, was that it was always about my mom. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit what you do with my mom. It's not my life. It's your life, not mine. So whatever. That's the main gist of that. So I got kind of pissed off at him because it was always talking about my mom. And the fact that he always got drunk at the time and it pissed me off. He was always talking about it, and he was always verbally abusive towards me and my mom. And I did not like that. But I'm glad that he's now sober and he's getting help. So that's a good thing. But besides the point, in school, I never really liked doing homework. I was sort of like those lazy kids in the school day. So one day I threw a desk at a student, although I think I tried to throw a desk at a counselor, and they wanted to expel me. But instead, they put me in the special class, and it kind of pissed me off actually because the special class was so fucking easy, and I felt like I was pissed off at the school for doing so. When I moved to Massachusetts, because this is all up in Maine, they thought I was a stupid kid and it pissed me off. When I moved up to Massachusetts, I did some mainstream classes, and that's what made me feel happy about. But I had to take an MCAS to get my high school diploma. So when I graduated, I only got a certificate. So I had to go back to school back when I was 21 in high school to take my MCAS because you have to pass MCAS because I never took the MCAS when I was a sophomore. I was taking an alt MCAS, which is not technically an MCAS, and it pissed me off that that happened to me. But when I had to take the MCAS, the normal MCAS, twice for 2 classes, and that was English and biology. Biology and English, the first time I missed it by 2 points. I passed all the rest of the classes, but when I did the test the first time, I did not study whatsoever. And I passed every class except for biology and English, and I only missed it by 2 points. So I was actually impressed that I could do this without even studying, no less. Because I'm a very smart fucking person, you know? That's what happens when you talk to me. But after that, I took the English and biology classes, the MCAS again, and I passed it with flying colors, got my high school diploma, and I was happy. So I like to thank my coach for that because she's the one who made it my idea because I wanted to get my freaking high school diploma because I got pissed off at the freaking state from letting me take a fucking oath because they thought I was stupid, fucking idiots. So that's the main gist of that. So my honest opinion is, my life's been through hell and back. I've been bullied, I've been picked on, I've been dead, I've been dealing with a lot of injuries in my life. But for some reason, I don't get fucking sick, which makes no fucking sense to my opinion. Like, I get sick, but I get sick for 4 or 5 days every single once a year. But I'm a tough fucking motherfucker. I will go, it's like, I used to, because when I used to work at a grocery store, I used to take the bus, because I used to work at a grocery store, and when I used to work at the grocery store, I keep repeating myself because I can't think of the fucking words because I'm a fucking dumbass. Like I said, I like to joke around about myself. But when I worked at the grocery store, I used to take the bus. The bus, I had to take one bus, transfer to another bus at the bus station, and it will take me an hour and 30 minutes just to get there, depending on traffic, because it was in like a different town altogether, and I had to go through different towns in the bus. So if I had to go to work at like 10, I had to leave my house around like, oh, I don't know. I had to leave the house around like 7 or 6 because I had to get to the farthest bus because it took an hour to drive there. After that, I had to walk from the clinic 30 minutes down because I wasn't gonna take another bus just so that I can save $2 because it was $1. I think it was like $1.50 or it was like $1.50 to $2 depending on where you want to go. I think it's probably already a higher price now, but that's what happens when it comes to the buses. So that's the main gist of that thing, because of the fact that I had to walk 30 minutes in the snow, sleet, rain. Doesn't matter what weather it is. It could be a tornado. I'll walk into it. I don't give a fuck. I wanted to work, man. Because I had a routine. That's what happens. Now, when it comes to me and smoking, I will refuse to smoke and I refuse to drink. Although I do drink once in a blue moon, but I only have 2 or 1 drinks when it comes to that stuff. And if you ever see me drunk, which is rarely, which will probably never happen again, actually. When I get drunk, I usually become quiet, which is kind of the opposite of what I do in my videos, because I'm screaming at the fucking microphone like a fucking dumbass, or jackass for that matter, and it's pretty fucking funny, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's the main thing about that. Now, when it comes to my life, I've been through hell and back, but, I've always stay positive and always make the life that you have the best of yourself. And that's what my main thing is. Is like, even if you've been through hell and back, there's always a light in the tunnel. Even though sometimes it's really hard for you to get to the light. And sometimes you don't really see the light because you turn into a fucking moron and do stupid things. But I know that everyone has a brain and everyone can be smart enough to do so. And I just wish that people would stop bullying everyone. But then again, it's never going to happen because kids and teenagers don't know how to do it. Like I said before, I used to get picked on a lot when I was in high school and elementary school and also middle school. So, yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. But hey, I'm always positive and always try to make everyone feel happy about themselves. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. There's always one person that's good and everyone else is a fucking asshole. But I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Take care. And I hope this stuff is I hope this video clears up what I've been through lately. In my eyes, to my opinion, the stuff that I can remember anyway. And that's the main gist of it. I'd like to end this video on I'm still a virgin, bitches! Woohoo! I always wanted to do that. Alright, later guys.